source says the Bucs offensive lineman Aaron Stinney tore both his ACL and his MCL, and that makes him done for the year. This is a big loss, especially how beat up this Buccaneers offensive line is. There's not a whole lot of offensive linemen around. And we still don't know about Ryan Jensen. Supposedly, that knee is still really messed up. They can't even figure out what's wrong with it because it swells up so much. Remember, this injury happened in late July. We're in the middle of August, and yet, or mid to late August, and still we have no idea about what is his injury? Why does it continue to swell? What's going on? So to lose Stinney on top of that is a big loss for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A guy who was pushing to be a starting guard. There was great news if you're a Green Bay Packer fan over the weekend, as left tackle David Bakhtiari was finally removed from the PUP list, as he would be doing individual drills, as Matt LaFleur announced over the weekend. This is great news. Bakhtiari has been technically out for almost 2 years. He was originally hurt of Week 6 in 2020 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That was when he tore his ACL. He then obviously didn't play the remainder of the year. Heading into the following year, in 2021, he only played in one game, and it was against the Detroit Lions in a meaningless game in Week 18. After that, his knee blew up and he didn't play throughout the playoffs. Now, hopefully, if you're a Packers fan, he's back for Week 1. New York Giants rookie Kayvon Thibodeaux, injures his knee. He says he's alright, but to put a first round pick out there and now you have a knee issue, it's very concerning if you're the New York Giants, because he's supposed to be a key contributor, and if he's not playing and he's not healthy, that's a mistake not on the player's fault, but on the coaching's fault, and the staff's fault to put him out there and say, okay, go be a great player, and get hurt. If he's out for any substantial period of time, a lot of people are going to be like, this staff doesn't know what they're doing. They put a rookie out there, and of the first round who's going to be a starter, and now he's hurt, and we don't know if he's going to miss some time or not. It's very concerning. The Bills released their starting punter, Matt Hawk, and wide receiver Tavon Austin. This obviously means, if you are a fan of punting, that punt guard Matt Araiza has won the job. Araiza, in Week 1 of the preseason, punted a ball 82 yards. It got the whole world talking. It really did. Now, Grant, does that mean because most of the time he's playing in Buffalo that the wind and all? Yes, that could be obviously a contributor. But for them to give him this much confidence, for him to be the punter, you got to admit, he may have it. Araiza has a chance. Let's see what he's got. The Las Vegas Raiders traded Nick Mullins to the Minnesota Vikings in exchange for a 2024 conditional 7th round pick. The condition is very simple. Activate Mullins for 1 game. That's it. The Kellen Mond over week 2 of the preseason didn't look great. So this could be a backup for Kirk Cousins. We'll just have to wait and see. Aaron Donald wants to play at least 2 more seasons. He is 31. The expectation is, because he's the best defensive player in the world, and probably the best defensive player of our generation, and going to be a Hall of Famer from what he's able to do in the interior. He wants to play at least 2 more years. That's what his contract is up. Now, that would put him at 33. But we've seen a lot of players in the inside, especially if you're as successful as him. I don't see him walking away after 2 years. I could see him play a little longer than that. We'll just have to wait and see. But you don't want to lose a great player like Aaron Donald. The Commanders also were one of the teams to activate a playoff pup this past week, as Logan Thomas, their tight end, was activated off pup as well. And the game recap between the Cowboys and the Chargers, a lot better from the Cowboys. Penalties were still a little high, about 8 penalties. Israel Mukuamu, the second year safety at South Carolina, played really well. Marquise Bell, the undrafted player out of Florida, played really well. Matt and Will Greer as well had a great game, even though the Cowboys did not throw the ball a whole lot. This was a very defensive game, so I was impressed from that front. Gavante Turpin had 2 a kick and punt return touchdowns. So if I'm the Cowboys, I'm happy that we won. But we can get better if we turn down those penalties a little bit more and get some more production out of our offense, and not solely have to rely on our special teams to make the plays.